the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Troops capture 3 top NPA leaders in Apayao. DSWD conducts home visits to support decommissioned MILF combatants in Davao region. PSA warns public against fake news regarding national ID information. President Marcos orders evacuation of Filipinos from Lebanon.
Good day everyone, as well to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo, Quezon City. Today is Thursday, October 10. We'll bring you the latest news from the armed forces and other information around the Philippines. I am Rofh Suzon for AFP Community News.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our stories, government forces captured 3 high-ranking New People's Army leaders during a joint operation by the Philippine Army and Philippine National Police in Barangay Manag-Conner, Apayao. Acting on a tip from a concerned civilian, troops swiftly launched a focused operation leading to the arrest of key members of the Ilocos Cordillera Regional Committee. Seized from them were firearms, grenades, and explosives. 5th Infantry Division Commander Major General Gulliver Señores hailed the success, calling it a major blow to the insurgency in northern Luzon, urging other NPA members to surrender and embrace peace.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Philippine Air Force, in coordination with the Office of Civil Defense and the Department of Social Welfare and Development, delivered crucial humanitarian aid to Itbayan, Batanes yesterday. Using a PAF Sokol helicopter, Tactical Operations Group 2 transported relief goods and drinking water to affected communities. DSWD personnel were also ferried to distribute cash assistance. These efforts underscore the Philippine Air Force's dedication in supporting the national government and providing aid to those in need during emergencies.
Armed Forces Radio Report.
From Solcom, let us hear from Jess about Brigadier General Norwin Romeo Tolentino retires after 37 years of dedicated service at Solcom.
Army, Deputy Commander of Southern Luzon Command, formally retired from active military service during a ceremony held at Solcom Grandstand, Camp Guillermo Nacar, Lucena City. The event was graced by Brigadier General Cirilio C. Balaoro Jr., Philippine Army, Commander of the 2nd Infantry Division, along with Brigade Commanders Colonel Ronald Jas Alcudia, Brigadier General Randolph Cabangbang, Brigadier General William P. Peñafiel, and Brigadier General Jose Enrique Ilaniog, as well as police and stakeholders from Solcom. In his speech, Brigadier General Tolentino expressed heartfelt gratitude to those who supported him during his 37-year career, including his family, peers, and fellow members of the Philippine Military Academy Simbasig Class 1991. He also thanked Lieutenant General Facundo O. Palafox IV, Commander of Solcom, and the Pangkat ng Magigiting for their support throughout his service. As he bids farewell to the military, Brigadier General Tolentino affirmed that the values and tradition instilled in him by the Armed Forces of the Philippines will remain with him as he moves forward into the next chapter of his life. This is Jess from Solcom reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jess from Solcom.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Soldiers neutralized 3 New People's Army members caught extorting protection money from poor residents in Barangay Malna, Capay, Lanao del Sur. The Lanao del Sur Provincial Police Office and the 55th Infantry Battalion reported that the rebels fired first at patrolling soldiers in Sitio Bagong Silang. It led to an encounter that resulted in the death of the 3 cadres. Moreover, authorities found the rebels forcibly collecting money and rice from residents in the area.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Department of Social Welfare Development initiated home visits to assess approximately 1,500 decommissioned combatants of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front in Davao Region from October 4 to 11. Undersecretary for Inclusive Sustainable Peace and Special Concerns Alan Tanhusay stated that these visits aim to identify areas needing support for the gradual reintegration of the former combatants into civilian life. Prior to the visits, he held courtesy calls with the local government officials from Davao City and surrounding provinces to prepare for the assessments. The DSWD also organized a 3-day dialogue with provincial officials to ensure collaboration and support for the re-engagement activities as part of the comprehensive agreement on Bangsamoro between the government and the MILF.
Armed Forces Radio.
We have a report coming in about Philippine Air Force Army's strengthened capabilities through joint interoperability exercise. Go for the details, Jai.
Yes, Rofh, the Philippine Air Force and the Philippine Army are bolstering their capabilities through a series of joint exercises in Gamu, Isabela, which began last October 7 and will conclude on October 11. The training focuses on fast rope insertion, air-to-ground operations, and precision heli sniping, showcasing seamless coordination between the two AFP service units. The Air Force's S-70I Black Hawk helicopter was used for combat scenarios, enhancing operational proficiency. This exercise reinforces the AFP's commitment to national security and the protection of the Filipino people. This is Jai reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jai.
DWDD National News.
And for our national news, the Philippine Statistics Authority has reminded the public to be cautious of information found online to avoid falling victim to fake news. This alert follows the emergence of new false social media posts related to the national ID. The misleading posts claim that assistance is available for national ID holders and that there is a fee for online processing. The PSA clarified that it does not distribute any assistance to the holders, whether in card, paper, or digital format. Furthermore, only the PSA is authorized to register individuals in the national ID system, which is free of charge. The PSA also encourages the public to refer only its official social media channels and to refrain from sharing false information regarding the national ID circulating on various platforms.
DWDD National News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ordered the evacuation of Filipinos in Lebanon. The directive came amid the escalating tensions between the Israeli Defense Force and militant group Hezbollah. In an urgent virtual conference with some of his cabinet secretaries to address the situation in the Middle East, PBBM said the government is going to evacuate Filipinos in Lebanon by whatever means. He tasked the officials to make all the preparations, whether for sea or air transportation. According to the Presidential Communications Office, the Philippine Embassy in Beirut has received more than 1,700 applications for repatriation.
Armed Forces Radio.
And now let's hear our report on the ground of Philippine Army participates in 4th Korean ASEAN Plus International Forum on Logistics. Go for the details, Spencer Ross.
Indeed, Rofh, the Philippine Army actively participated in the 4th Korean ASEAN and International Forum on Logistics held from October 1 to 6, 2024 in Daejeon and Gyeonggi City, South Korea. Major General Rogelio D. Olanday, commander of the Army Support Command, led the Philippine Army delegation in the said event. The forum, Rofh, which brought together military and logistic experts, aimed to foster cooperations and strengthen logistic capabilities among participating nations. Furthermore, countries like Poland, India, Australia, USA, Canada, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, United Arab Emirates, Sri Lanka, Maldives, and ASEAN member states were in attendance. This is Spencer reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Spencer Ross.
DWDD National News.
A migrant workers organization in the Middle East is urging the Philippine government to order the mandatory repatriation of Filipinos in Lebanon. According to Middle East coordinator David Sanchez, the group has been receiving reports from overseas Filipino workers in Lebanon who are requesting to be rescued from their employers. Sanchez said even those who are already in shelters provided by the Philippine government are still waiting for repatriation. The group suggested that the national government should charter flights as commercial flights are still not available. Earlier, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ordered the evacuation of Filipinos in Lebanon by whatever means.
DWDD National News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. urged the fellow Southeast Asian leaders to invest in robust cybersecurity protections for the economy. PBBM said the officials must continue to deepen the connectivity and fortify their resilience to ensure that they are prepared for emerging challenges and for future shocks. He emphasized that it is critical to invest in robust cybersecurity protections, equip the people with digital skills, and build the digital infrastructure necessary to secure ASEAN's path to becoming the fourth largest economy in the world. The regional bloc earlier drafted the ASEAN Digital Economy Framework Agreement to boost Southeast Asia's digital economy to around $2 trillion and ensure that the region would push towards digitalization.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more updates from Gina about 4th IED welcomes new officers and honors civilians.
Yes, Rofh, 4th Infantry Division welcomed new officers and honored civilian personnel during a flag-raising ceremony at Camp Evangelista Cagayan de Oro. 4th ID Commander Major General Jose Maria R. Cuerpo II led the activity wherein Captain Mark Ron R. Tampos and Captain Rogel and Garcia joined the division. Additionally, awards were given to Miss Maria Venmia F. Bechos, named Outstanding Registered Nurse 2024, and Miss Lisel May D. Estrada, recognized as Outstanding Civilian Human Resource 2024 for their valuable contributions to the division. Major General Cuerpo II also promoted newly commissioned reserve officers, highlighting their commitment to public service and strengthening military-civilian cooperation. This is Gina reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Gina.
DWDD National News.
For other development story, the Commission on Elections said it received a record number of candidacy forms of senatorial aspirants during its 8-day filing period for the 2025 midterm elections. COMELEC Chairperson George Irwin Garcia said a total of 183 individuals filed certificates of candidacy for senator, higher than the 176 aspirants for the 2022 national elections and 153 senatorial for the 2019 polls. Garcia said that more Filipinos genuinely want to serve the country. The COMELEC chief also reported that 190 party list groups applied to join the 2025 race, even if they only accredited 160. He also said that some of the 190 had already been denied accreditation or had their motions for reconsideration dismissed but still filed their certificates of nominations and acceptance.
DWDD National News.
59% of Filipinos considered themselves living in poverty. Based on the latest social weather station survey, 16.3 million Filipinos are rating themselves as poor. This is 1 percentage point higher than the 58% in the June 2024 survey, and the highest percentage of self-rated poor families since June 2008. The non-commissioned survey was conducted using face-to-face interviews of 1,500 adults nationwide.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more updates from Beth Tanyete about PMA marks 126th founding anniversary with tree planting activity.
The Philippine Military Academy celebrated its 120th founding anniversary yesterday by planting 1,000 tree seedlings within its premises in Baguio City. The events organized in collaboration with the local government and the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. So PMA personnel cadets, and partners organizations, including the Philippine Air Force and Philippine Army. They planted 500 Arabica coffee and 500 pine trees. Moreover, PM Eden of Academics Brigadier General Jose de Mar Paule emphasized the significance of resilience in both relationship and environmental stewardship. This is Beth Neta reporting for the AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Beth Tanyete.
Armed Forces Radio.
For more updates, let us hear from Shai about the AFP promotes two senior officers.
Yes, good afternoon. The Armed Forces of the Philippines promoted two senior officers in a ceremony at Camp Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City yesterday. AFP Chief of Staff General Romeo S. Bronner Jr. led the activity in which Brigadier General Francis Anthony M. Coronel and Colonel Ferdinand P. Ramirez were promoted. Now Major General Coronel serves as the AFP's Deputy Chief of Staff for Financial Management, while Brigadier General Ramirez leads the AFP's Reserve Command. Relatedly, General Bronner congratulated the officers, emphasizing the increased responsibility with their new ranks bring. This is Shai reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Shai.
DWDD National News.
Moving on to another story, Local Government Secretary John Vic Remulla outlined a comprehensive agenda aimed at reforming various sectors under his department's jurisdiction. These include fast-tracking the digitalization of local government units, expanding the unified 911 emergency response system, and addressing structural issues within the Philippine National Police. He believes digitalization will enhance the efficiency of governance and public services. He also emphasized that streamlining local government operations through digital platforms will make public service delivery more accessible and transparent for citizens across the country.
DWDD National News.
Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development Secretary Jose Rizalino Acozar said collaboration between the public and private sectors is crucial in the implementation of national housing initiatives. As the agency observes National Shelter Month, Acozar said that under these programs, they are transforming communities into resilient and sustainable living spaces. For his part, Undersecretary Avelino Tolentino III called on everyone in the sector to start turning the challenges into opportunities and align all the efforts toward the shared goal of addressing homelessness. This year's theme, Matibay na Tahanan, Matatag na Komunidad para sa Bagong Pilipinas, was indicative of the government's efforts to provide safe, decent, affordable, and sustainable housing.
Armed Forces Radio.
From First Year G, let us hear some information from Joanne about Joint Army-PNP operations, capture 3 high-ranking NPAs in Apayao.
In a significant blow to communist insurgency efforts, joint operations by the Philippine Army and the Philippine National Police led to the capture of 3 high-ranking New People's Army leaders in Barangay Manag, Corner, Apayao on October 8, 2024. The successful operation was initiated after the 503rd Infantry Brigade received a tip from a concerned civilian about the presence of armed NPA terrorists in the area. Acting swiftly on the information, government forces launched a focused military operation. While conducting patrol, troops intercepted 3 individuals who were positively identified as key members of the Regional Guerrilla Unit Regional Operations Command of the Ilocos Cordillera Regional Committee, a notorious NPA faction operating in northern Luzon. The captured personalities were identified as alias Sam, commanding officer of the Regional Centro de Gravidad of the ICRC, alias Tanya, political instructor, alias Annie, organizer and head of education of the Weekend Guerrilla Front KLG Gas. Confiscated from their possession were 2 M16A1 rifles with ammunition, hand grenades, explosive and personal belongings, which are now in the custody of authorities for further investigation. Major General Gulliver L. Sinieres, commander of the 5th Infantry Division, commended the success of the joint operation, emphasizing that the capture of these high-ranking NPA leaders is a significant step toward dismantling the remaining guerrilla fronts in northern Luzon. He further emphasized the importance importance of peace and reconciliation, urging the remaining NPAs who are still engaged in the armed struggle to return to the government's fold. This operation highlights the increasing cooperation of local communities with government forces, further weakening the insurgency's influence. The vital intelligence shared by civilians evidences the public's growing trust in the armed forces and the PNP, leading to the successful capture of these notorious figures. This is Joan Sagalok reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joanne.
DWDD National News.
For other national news, the Department of Migrant Workers said the 6-month pilot program that deployed 100 Filipino caregivers to South Korea was under assessment. According to DMW, 2 Filipino women were unable to return for duty after the holiday break in their first month of employment. The 2 caregivers claimed that they had difficulties due to the alleged overwork. DMW Secretary for Licensing and Adjudication Bernard Olaya said they were able to find another job offering employment as a cleaner. So that was where they were caught with their new employer and were brought to the Immigration Authority in Busan. The caregivers are now under the custody of Busan Immigration Authorities for investigation and will be receiving legal assistance from the DMW.
DWDD National News.
The Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission said it is still cracking down on around 58 to 200 pogos in the country. PAWAC spokesperson Winston Casio said they continuously receive reports that some pogos are still in operation. He emphasized that they are taking seriously the President's order that pogo operations would be totally banned by the end of the year. Casio, however, said that PAWAC and DOJ officials believe that pogos should be completely winding down their operations by October 16 and that their operations should be purely administrative from that target date.
Armed Forces Radio.
And more updates from Ella Mercado about Antipolo CCPS naps 3 farmers for the crime of destructive arson.
Antipolo City Police arrested 3 individuals who are all farmers after implementation of a warrant of arrest issued by the court for the case of destructive arson without corresponding bail. The arrested suspects, according to Rizal Provincial Police Office Director, Police Colonel Felipe Maragon, are all considered to be regional most wanted person within the area of Calabarzon, and the arrest was made through the warrant tracker team of Antipolo Component City Police Station. In the release information, Rizal PPO Public Information Office said that the arrest of those wanted by law and other members of syndicated crime is part of their peace campaign in the whole province of Rizal and in line to 7-point agenda towards peace and security of Police Regional Office 4A under Chief PNP's mantra, sa bagong Pilipinas, gusto ng pulis, ligtas ka. This is Ella Mercado reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Ella Mercado.
Armed Forces Radio.
And from Congress, let us hear from Terence about 10 billion pesos additional funding for rural electrification sought Congress.
Cagayan de Oro's 2nd District Representative Rufus Rodriguez today proposed an additional budget of 10 billion pesos for the rural electrification program of the National Electrification Administration, NEA, for 2025. He said that this program should have more funds so that the vision of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. of 100% electrification by the end of his 6-year term in 2028 could be realized, and Congress should help him attain that target. He said that NEA is allocated only 2.6 billion pesos in the proposed national budget for next year, which is about 11% of the agency's funding proposal of 23.7 billion pesos. It should be given even just half of what is seeking, he said, and he stressed that without additional rural electrification funds, many communities in the country will remain in total darkness. Mindanao has the highest rate of non-situ electrification in the country, he said. This is Terence Morteno Grana reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Terence.
DWDD National News.
Boracay, Palawan, Cebu, and Visayan Islands and Siargao made it to Asia's top 10 islands list during the Condé Nast Travelers 2024 Reader's Choice Awards. Tourism Secretary Cristina Garcia Frasco said they are immensely grateful to global travelers who have chosen the Philippines and continue to explore the natural beauty of the country. Frasco added that this reflects not only the unparalleled beauty of our islands, but also the rich, diverse experience they offer. The Philippines emerged as the ASEAN country with the most number of islands on the list, confirming its status as Asia's premier island destination.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And that's all for today's broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us, especially to our audience in our Facebook page, AFP Radio DWDD. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for more updates, same time and same station. Again, this is Rofh Suzon for AFP Community News, One AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.